Joining me now is Bridget van Kralingen of IBM, Senior VP and Global Business Services Division here at the Fortune Summit in Washington.
Hi Rhonda, good to be here.
IBM has a lot going on, and cognitive computing is where it's at for IBM, and that is of course Watson. So tell me your involvement with Watson and where this project is going from your perspective.
So we have been taking Watson over the last couple of years and working with various clients across a number of industries. Of course, the most well-known is healthcare, but in fact we've been using Watson in banking, in insurance, in retail, in oil and gas. And in all those cases, Watson has been able to either significantly improve the client experience by using contextual data, using vast bodies of knowledge and improving client experience, and also in other cases improving organizational and operational efficiency, like massive improvements in supply chain or in knowledge sharing in oil and gas. So what we really have come to conclude as we've looked at this is that this capability is now getting that good that you can imagine a world where almost every process in an organization can be underpinned and improved by the use of cognitive, both for a client experience and service point of view and internal efficiency. And so we really took the next big leap with the announcements of the cognitive practice and the announcements of the cognitive organization, where our leap and our bet is that organizations start to use cognitive at more scale to underpin all their processes.
And you're bringing a lot of people on in terms of helping to develop applications.
Yes.
So will that be a global effort in terms of where the consultants are coming in from?
Correct. Because as we've worked with these clients, and again, this is grounded in our experience with clients, we've had CEOs say, wow, this worked for my customers, I want to use it to help my people in, say, supply chain or in regulatory compliance. And those clients are all around the world. So what we will have is a global, what we call center of competence, that will be the hotbed of where we build the skills, where we develop the capabilities and we develop our people. And that consists of data scientists, mathematicians, people with advanced analytics, and people with knowledge of the various industries. And then that is used to seed practices around the world. And that's how we scale things in IBM.
Is Watson the future of IBM?
Cognitive is the future of IBM, with very much powered by Watson and the big data that it surrounds Watson.
And what have you seen in terms of cost savings for these customers? Because that's really what they're getting at, is gathering more data to be more efficient. Are there any numbers yet on potential cost savings for various industries?
So there's two types of benefits that we're seeing our clients want. One is cost savings, as you mentioned, but the other is in fact revenue and customer service. So on the side of the client serving customers, we have found, for instance, with banks, higher closure rates of proposals or transactions. We've seen higher rates of cross-sell, and we've seen higher rates of revenue where we're able to actually bring information in to make it easy for a client to do business. On the cost side, just an example is we've done work on supply chain where we've been able to get around 20% efficiencies in supply chain, which in the numbers that most retailers or consumer packaged goods work, that is a massive amount. So big upside, we think, on both the cost side but also on the revenue and pricing side.
I'm wondering if there is a need for computing without the cognitive nature of it. Because this sounds so future-driven that everything now seems really dated the way we used to think about computing.
You're right. You're absolutely right in that all the work that's been going on in the last few years about going to mobile, analytics, cloud, right? All of those are foundational capabilities for this cognitive capability, which involves the ability to work in natural language, right? And the ability for machine learning, which is for the machine to improve and better and self-improve over time. And if you do think about it, those other capabilities will be foundational capabilities which will feed into this idea of machine learning and the ability to actually make sense of natural language. And then you might know that one of the other things we're working on with cognitive is the ability to recognize image, voice, emotion. So all the unstructured data sources which aren't just text, no computer in the world can make sense of those yet. We're working with Watson to be able to do that. So if you think about it, 20 years time, those capabilities that are now foundational will probably seem dated.
So I know somebody will be watching this and thinking, well, is there still a role for humans 20 years from now? Because that's always the fear when people think about this procedure, cognitive computing, that the human element becomes obsolete.
So we have, as we've worked with Watson, one of the primary use cases that we have seen, and if you think about the examples that I was giving you about helping a bank with regulatory procedures, or helping oil and gas with sharing knowledge management, or a lot of the healthcare examples, in all those cases, Watson has helped professionals or employees do their jobs better. And so one of our clients in Asia, for instance, who is in private banking, they have used Watson to say, I want every banker to have the skills of my top banker. So we think about Watson and about helping to scale the best expertise to raise the whole bar of performance for both employees and what they deliver, and then of course for their clients. So if you think about that in terms of the role of helping professionals make a judgment, we don't think it's so much replacing people, but more helping them be better.
And we'll end it there. Bridget van Kralingen of IBM, so good to see you. Thank you
Great
so much.
Great to see you. Thanks.